Hey, so you just got your thyroid panel labs back. You have all of these numbers and letters, and you're wondering, what do they mean? Or maybe your sister or your mom or your aunt or your cousin just got theirs back. They're like, what's going on? Well, I am here to help you figure out what is your thyroid? How does it work? What do all these numbers mean? Why are there more than one number? Why are there a whole bunch? Isn't it just like, is it working or isn't it? It's not. So let's go through what it is. And the first thing I want you to do is picture a Rube Goldberg machine. Do you know what a Rube Goldberg machine is? It's one of those super complicated things to do a simple task. The one that comes to mind is, I think it's Joseph's Machine on YouTube. My kids love that channel because he's always got funny Rube Goldberg machines. And one of them was to pour cereal. You don't just go to the cupboard, get out the box of cereal and pour it. No, it was a huge, long, convoluted process to get the machine to pour a bowl of cereal. It's kind of what your thyroid is. Now, when I was going into school initially in my 4 years of college, the thyroid system confused me. When I went back to school after working in the ER for 17 years, and I was like, I'm sick of putting Band-Aids on chronic things. I want to help people actually get better. Went back to school for holistic health and health education. The thyroid stuff totally confused me. But when I started picturing it as a Rube Goldberg machine, it started to make sense. So hopefully through this podcast, it can help you make sense. I can help you make sense out of all of these numbers in your labs, figure out what's going on in your body. Now, the first thing I'm going to tell you is I'm not going to address numbers. I'm just going to say high, low, abnormal, things like that. There's a couple of reasons for this. And number one is because there's different sets of numbers. An endocrinologist might follow a different system than a functional medicine doctor, and they might follow a different system than a conventional medicine doctor. There are different systems. So we're just going to talk about high, normal, or low. So first thing in this Rube Goldberg machine is your body. Every single cell in your body needs a little spark plug for energy to work, right? If they're not getting that, they're going to hit the little light switch. And if they're not getting it enough, they're going to hit the light switch again and again. And every time they flick that light switch up, it's kind of like your TSH. So if your TSH is really elevated, it means that your body has been flicking that light switch. It's like, hey, I need more energy. I need something, help me out. That's your TSH. If it's elevated, it means your body is asking for more energy, for more thyroid hormone. Now, you can have Hashimoto's, or you can have problems with your thyroid and your TSH is normal. So I hope that your practitioner did a full thyroid panel. That includes more than just the TSH, because you can be experiencing the crazy symptoms of Hashimoto's and have a normal TSH. What are some of those crazy symptoms? The number one symptom is fatigue. This is what most people experience. But because every single cell in your body is impacted by thyroid hormone, well, every single cell has a different function in your body, right? You have different organ systems, everything works together, but what if it's not working? Hashimoto's, you can experience things like brain fog or joint pain, mood swings, depression or anxiety, panic attacks, losing your hair, carpal tunnel syndrome, acid reflux, infertility or miscarriages, hives, other skin problems, insomnia. Maybe you even feel exhausted, but you can't sleep. Vision problems, neck pressure, especially right in the front where your thyroid gland is. There are so many different things that can be caused by your thyroid gland not quite working right. If you're experiencing those and you went to your doctor and you said, I want my thyroid checked, hopefully they did more than just your TSH. Your TSH is the little light switch, is your body asking for more energy. So once you know your TSH, you also want to look at some other labs. Okay, so you're back to the Rube Goldberg. Your body has asked for more energy. The next thing that you need to look at is your T4. If your thyroid gland is working, it puts out T4. That is the name of the inactive thyroid hormone. So your thyroid gland makes T4. If your T4 is low, it means that your thyroid gland is not working awesomely. If it's still working, congratulate it. It's fighting hard for you. Yay, thyroid gland. I am all about not being a bully to ourselves. It's really easy to be down on ourselves. Congratulate your thyroid. Like, hey, I've been working you really hard. Thank you. Thank you for keeping up. Now, the next thing is T3. That's if your T4 was converted into the form that your every single cell needs. T3 is the active thyroid. So if that's low, it means there's something going on that's preventing it from converting from the inactive form to the active form. And now there's another step in this Rube Goldberg, and this is a braking system. It's your reverse T3. Now picture your kid, and your kid has been going, and he's ready to drop, right? Think of a toddler, preschooler, and you're like, ooh, if they sit down, they're going to fall asleep. They've been going, he's exhausted. And instead of sitting down on the couch, he goes to the refrigerator and pulls out a Red Bull. Caffeine, sugar, stimulants, artificial coloring, all these things are going to hype him up and keep him going. Now, as the parent, are you going to let him do that? Or are you going to say, no, let's sit on the couch for a second and read a book. And you know that he's so exhausted, he's going to sit down, get halfway through the book and fall asleep. Now, you're not going to let him have that Red Bull because you know what he actually needs is rest. Your reverse T3 is that parent figure. Like, no, we're not going to have a Red Bull. We need to rest. There's stuff going on in our body, and I need to heal. I need some time to just be. Can we not have more energy right now? That's your reverse T3. If your reverse T3 is elevated, you need to pay attention. It is your body crying for help. Like, can we please rest? Honor that. Your body is telling you through these labs what it needs. So let's give it what it needs. Is that toddler, preschooler, elementary school kid going to sometimes throw a fit because they want the Red Bull because there's something exciting going on and they really want to do that thing? They want the Red Bull so they can go do it? Yes, absolutely. Are you going to feel the same? Possibly. Like, no, you don't know the list of commitments. Esther, I wear so many hats. I cannot drop the ball. I need more energy. I cannot rest. I have bad news for you. If you don't choose to rest, rest will make you rest. Illness will make you rest. You can only go so long. If you don't listen to the cries for help, eventually something will make you stop. It's better, hard, but better to cut down on those commitments and prioritize rest and healing. If your reverse T3 is high, listen to that as a cry for help from your body. Some other labs to look at are your antibodies. There's 2 different antibodies. As far as I know, they always go together. If one is up, the other is up. So are your antibodies up? If your antibodies are elevated, that means your immune system has gone haywire and it is attacking yourself. If you listened to the last episode, you know I talked about a story about a preschooler girl who's been working so hard on this craft project and it just isn't working. She can't get her crayons and her scissors and her glue and everything to work just how she wants. And she's so frustrated and she cries, right? You're not going to yell at her. She's trying her hardest and it's just not working. You're going to have compassion on her. It's your autoimmune system. It's working so hard and it's not doing a good job. It started attacking you. Have compassion on it. Figure out how you can support your immune system. Because we can. And we're going to go over that in future episodes. There's a lot of ways that you can support your body as a whole. Now, when I talk about your whole health, we're going to go through body, mind, spirit, diet, environment, because they all go together, every single thing. Like the breathing, when I talked about that in the last episode, when you take a deep breath with your diaphragm, that's your belly, instead of letting your shoulders and your ribs help you take a deep breath with your belly. That tells every single cell in your body to switch from the fight and flight mode to the rest and digest mode. It impacts your body lowers your stress. It impacts your mind because it's lowering your stress. It impacts your spirit even because you're moving out of fear into rest. It impacts your diet because your diet is not necessarily just what you eat, it's what you're able to digest. And it impacts everything around you. When you are looking at the world through stressed eyes, it looks different than when you are looking at the world through eyes of rest, right? Everything goes together. So we talked about the antibodies. The other thing that I hope that your practitioner checked when they did your lab panel is your vitamin D level. Your vitamin D level is not necessarily a thyroid level. It's not at all, actually. But in future episodes, we're going to go through the triggers of autoimmune conditions. There's always three things present when you have an autoimmune condition. There's always a genetic predisposition, there's always a gut component, and there's always a trigger. One of the about 8 most common triggers, one of those is your vitamin D levels. So as long as you're getting your blood work done, see if they can check your vitamin D level. Now, if they didn't, you can go back and ask them if they can, or you can even do a mail-in lab. Like you get online, you order the lab work, they send it to you in the mail. They have a little lancet, so a little finger poker. You clean off your finger, you use that lancet, squeeze out a couple drops of blood, put them on the special little paper, put it in the envelope, and mail it back. And within about 2 weeks, you have your vitamin D levels. It's easy peasy. And vitamin D can help you figure out one simple thing of how to progress on your road to health with Hashimoto's. I will see you in the next episode where we're going to talk about more simple things you can do. Because let's face it, there's a lot of things you can do when you have Hashimoto's, and diving into all of it all at once is not good for your stress level. And when things are not good for your stress level, they're not good for your immune system. So we're going to dive into that in the next episode. Hey friend, I hope you loved today's episode. If you want to continue on a path to health, come join my program, Abundant Energy for the Weary Mom, where you will cut through the overwhelming information and follow a simple and sustainable path toward health. With support and encouragement, you will work in a strategic order to gain fast results that stick so that you can experience each day fully and make a positive impact on your family and everyone you encounter. Please help others find this show by rating and reviewing it in your podcast app or by sharing a screenshot of today's episode in your social media stories. Be sure to tag me on Instagram. You can find me at EstherY.RN. This podcast is for informational and educational purposes only. Please be sure to discuss any concerns and plans with your trusted healthcare professional. Finally, may the God of hope fill you with joy and peace, and that in all aspects, I pray you have